Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, August 31st, 2020. We are nearing the end of the growing season for a lot of our plants here. And, this year will forever be known as the year of the coronavirus. We've had a lot of kind of suckiness, but I'm going to show you the garden first. We've actually had a lot of success out here. We've been pulling carrots, cherry tomatoes, tons of zucchinis, and we've actually had several spaghetti squashes as well. So I'm gonna show you the garden really quick. Then we'll go inside the greenhouse. I actually have a lot to do in there today. You get to see kind of how we prepare for the winter. And just so you know, August here in Utah, it has been almost 100 degrees almost every single day in August. So it has been a hot August, but we are finally, the last couple of days, cooling down, and our highs will be in the upper 80s and lower 90s. So anyways, let's go see the garden real quick. Okay, so the first thing you see here is a cherry tomato plant that is absolutely out of control. It's monstrously huge. Goes clear over there, but you can see we've been taking tons of cherry tomatoes off of this plant, and it just keeps giving us more. So this plant has been a huge success. If you look right here, you have our zucchini plant, and if you look really close here, you'll notice the squash bugs are thriving here. They are just loving it. Do you see all the squash bugs on there? They are everywhere. So today, I'm probably going to just take that last zucchini and get rid of this bush. Okay, so because I hate squash bugs so bad, and because I'm not expecting any new zucchinis to grow on this plant, I'm actually gonna rip this out of the ground here in a few minutes and hopefully take a lot of those squash bugs with it. I ever tell you how bad I hate squash bugs? I hate them. Okay, so the other plant you see here is our regular tomato plant, and you can see we've got some nice tomatoes growing on here as well, but they're not quite ready. Okay, so I'm just gonna rip this plant out and try to throw it in the garbage can, and hopefully not very many of the squash bugs will get away. My problem is that I have this wire cage here, which is actually held down underneath the dirt here. So I'm actually gonna have to clip this out of here with some clippers. If you look on the bottom of these leaves, like you can see right here, those are eggs. And so we are getting rid of a bunch of eggs as well. Okay, so you can see we had one growing there, but that probably wasn't gonna make it. Okay, so now you can see here, we're just left with kind of the base of that plant. So we're gonna try to pull that out as gently as possible, hopefully taking as many of those stupid squash bugs with us as possible. Hopefully we got a bunch of those little buggers, but I can see there's a whole bunch more still running around over here. I've got a jar here, so I'm gonna gather as many of those guys as possible. Oh yeah, see? You can see some big ones, several of the big ones crawling around on this leaf here. So we're just gonna dump that. I just gathered a couple dozen of these squash bugs. You can see they're just ugly, nasty creatures. So anyways, I'm done messing with this for now. So on to the next thing. I'm gonna show you the carrots next. Okay, so here we are in the rhubarb section of the garden. You can see we've got some carrots, tons of carrots. You can also see we've got a bunch of carrots over here. And last week, my father and I came and took out all of the rhubarb. So you can see there's not a whole lot remaining here right now. And that is our neighbor cat that just seems to follow us everywhere. Okay, so we're gonna go in through here and just pick some of the carrots out. They're growing kind of close together and see what kind of size we got here. My kids have been eating carrots out of here for a week or so now. So you can see a couple decent ones there. Huge one. Oh boy, look. Is that the smallest carrot you've ever seen in your whole life? We'll try to get some that are a little bit bigger than that one. Oh. Now I did plant different types of carrots in here, so there will be some white ones, some orange ones, and I think purple as well. So let's go pull some from the other section real quick. Okay, so I planted these ones a little earlier in the season, so we might get some bigger carrots. This one's kind of growing away from the other, so let's see if we can get this out of here. What the heck? Okay, so we got a little one out of there. Let's get that out of the way. But seriously, have you ever seen a carrot that huge in your life before? I haven't. So anyways, that is one of those white carrots, and we're gonna have to give that a try to see how they taste. Holy crap, that's huge. Oh, we got another white one. And we'll have to call this carrot Pinocchio. Seriously, what happened there? Looks more like an onion. Okay, so there's really not a whole lot to brag about here. We do have several cantaloupe growing in here, and you can see got a big guy growing right there as well. And if you come over here, you can see we've got a lot of raspberries growing. Maybe we should give one of those a taste really quick. Not trying to get stung by a bee. You can see a little raspberry here. That was good, but my favorite are these blackberries. I'm gonna show you those really quick, and then I'm gonna pick and eat one of those. Okay, so you can see here, the raspberries are producing really good here. Okay, so you can see that these blackberries are huge, and they are my favorite. If you've never had blackberries out of the garden, they really are the best. Man, that is good. I have to eat a couple more real quick. Now, I do need to warn you that raspberry plants and blackberry plants, they do spread. So it's always a battle with us trying to keep them from growing into the lawn and other locations where they don't belong. So if you plant raspberry and blackberry bushes, be prepared to deal with the consequences. And also understand that in some places, it's not even legal. So pay attention to that. Here's the last garden box. You can see we have a raspberry plant that's actually popping up in here. So I am gonna have to remove that. These cucumber plants over here, they didn't really cut it this year. And it doesn't look like the cauliflower will produce, but we do have some spaghetti squash over here. I'm hopeful that we'll get at least one of those before the spaghetti squash bugs kill this plant. You can see there's a second smaller one in here. I'm willing to bet that one won't make it because you can see the leaves are already showing some signs that some squash bugs have been in there. Okay, so let's head over into the underground greenhouse. Okay, so as we step here into the greenhouse, you can see it's overgrown and it's kind of a mess. So this plant has grown all over the floor. This is a cantaloupe bush and it has not given us anything. So that's disappointing. And then you can see I've got a little pile there of tomato plant that I need to just remove. And then we have the avocado tree. It's looking good, growing strong. Probably need to trim that so it grows more up instead of out. Got the orange tree here. Let's take a quick look. I'm gonna show you. We do have some little oranges growing here. That's awesome. But the only problem is that get close in here as well. The season isn't gonna be long enough unless I put heat in here. If I don't put heat in the greenhouse, it'll get too cold before they become big enough to eat. So I'm still debating if I'm gonna put heat in here or not. So let's take a look at the rest of the fruit trees and then get to work cleaning out the greenhouse. So if you look here behind me, you can see we've got some monstrous grapefruits growing. The only problem is they're not turning yellow. So once again, the season is growing short on us. We need those things to turn colors as soon as possible. Looking at this orange tree behind me, you can see there's a lot of new growth up here, so that's good. The tree is growing, it's strong. And if you look right here, you've got some little oranges growing, another one right there. So that's doing great. And then you have the lemon tree here behind me. Once again, you can see some new growth. We didn't get any fruit out of that this year, is what it is. And then same with the lime tree. We got a bunch of new growth and no fruit. So anyways, I'm gonna get to work cleaning this place out really quick. Okay, so found a new friend here. I'm guessing these aren't good things to have in your greenhouse. So we are gonna put this guy outside. Okay, so you can see that looks a lot better. I do have some plants right here that I'm trying to bring back from virtually the dead. We'll see what happens with that. You can see here our tomato plants. We have got a ton of tomatoes out of here, but right now I'm not seeing anything. I'm hoping for a fall production here. Just a few small tomatoes in there. You can see the lilikoi plant here. It's growing really tall and long, so it seems to be thriving in here. And I've got the second lilikoi plant right over here, and it too, you can see it in that green pot growing up over there, seems to be doing just fine. Okay, so I'm running out of time here before I need to run to work, but you can see this black mesh up here. I need to peel it back or roll it back now for the winter season. It's starting to get cooler outside, so I'm gonna want that heat, and I'm hoping the natural sunlight will help with the grapefruits a little bit better, so I'm gonna try to peel back at least one of those, hopefully two, before I take off for the day. Okay, so you see I got my screwdriver here. I need to loosen some of the screws there. If you look back over here, you can see I've been able to remove some of it. So this should loosen up and hopefully I can get the rest of them out real quick. Okay, yeah, that worked awesome. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, I still have this section up. Not gonna get to that today. Pushing my time getting to work, but I can get this last section here, and that's what I'm doing next. Okay, so if you look behind me, you can see I've rolled this tarp up and kind of attached to the ceiling there. It's a lot brighter in here now. If you look over at this section here, it's still shaded. I do not have time to do that today, so I'll just do that later on this week. But hey guys, I just wanna thank you for watching my video. Please, if you enjoyed it, give me that thumbs up. If you're, want to follow the progress of this greenhouse and the success and failures that I'm having in here, please hit that subscribe button below and ring the little bell to be notified each time I post new videos. If you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. Like I said, this is just a big experiment for me. And yes, I've had tons of failures, and hopefully these grapefruits will be one of my largest successes. But anyways, until next time, we'll catch you later. Thank you. Thank you for watching.